Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Friday. So today the sales were actually like really good. So this is cool. This is a good sign for people doing like Christmas shopping and stuff like that. But I had a obnoxious time unrelated to all of the items just in the storage unit. I was having a Monday on a Friday where things just like kept going wrong. Like I had to like find items that were like labeled incorrectly. I bumped into a shelf and had like stuff fall down. At one point I had nothing got like broken, but I just looked at the last like box of unlisted stuff that I like knocked over. I looked at it and I'm like, I'm just not mature enough to deal with this today. I'm gonna literally deal with this tomorrow. Like I was just so upset. All right. So the first thing that sold is a D20 system character record folio right here. These things are pretty cool. Some like RPG stuff, which is interesting because I found like, I don't have them with me, but like 5 or 6 RPG books that just like happen to be in my inventory, like good ones. There's like a couple of Shadowrun. There's Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, this one right here. But yeah, so I get to list those later, but we haven't gotten them in a while. So these are gonna be like little character sheets that people get to like rip out, or they get to Xerox, or just like take a picture and print them on their computer. And they're pretty cool than having just like a blank piece of paper. So this isn't too crazy because it's not like branded. It's just D20 system, green Ronin, sold for $7.29. All right, next up is going to be some bits and pieces for a board game called Crossbows and Catapults. Sorry, it's going to mess up with my tongue there. All right, these are just a bunch of bricks. These were actually, I think, spray painted or painted black, so I put that in the listing. I think they're supposed to be like this gray color. Someone ended up liking them. You see us get bits and pieces. I know this game does well. I haven't played it because that's like before my time, and no one's ever like set it up for me and like, hey, do you want to play this game? I would probably say yes, but that just hasn't happened. These sold for $20.25. It's 21 replacement bricks. Whew. Going too fast. All right, next up is going to be an organized kit. I have a bunch of these, so I just like relist it when they sell. Organized play kit season 0 for Parabellum. I actually have no idea what this is. When I picked it up, I just read here on the back. Here, I'm gonna have to have it face me in a second. On the back, it said this box contains 8 metal coins. I'm like, oh, cool. People like to upgrade their game. 120 card sleeves. People like to have the specific card sleeves for the game. 1 deck box. I'm like, oh, that's okay. And then I saw that there's 1 miniature in here. I'm like, okay, done. People love miniatures as well. So I sell these like kind of slowly. We had like 12 or 15 of these at one point. I don't know how many we have left. I want to say like 5 or 6. This ended up selling for $60.74, which is pretty cool. Yeah, those promo kits are always do pretty well for us. All right, next up is going to be a big box PC game. We pick these up whenever we can. They do sell pretty quickly. Corsairs Conquest at Sea right here. This is going to have the CD, no scratches, and it's going to have like the manuals and papers. Usually they were like obnoxiously big and they don't have too much stuff. So like this doesn't weigh too much. This is going to a repeat buyer for $20.25. So yeah, it's a pretty cool like pirate game. Actually looks like pretty in depth, and there's like a lot of different like pictures you can see. It looks like a lot of cool like inventory management of ships and characters and stuff like that. Looks pretty cool. Something I would technically play if I had infinite time. All right, next up, and I don't know what was going on, but I sold a bunch of this stuff. This is Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. This is the Games Workshop strategy battle game core rulebook. The first one I've sold this like a ton. I found it a ton. So yeah, it's gonna have all the different characters, their stats, and all like the base rules inside of here. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Like people like this game. If you get the miniatures, they do really well. This sold for $8.44. The Fellowship of the Ring, sorry, not the Fellowship. Oh my God, the Two Towers and Return of the King books sell for more. I think I have like the Return of the King up for like $16 or something right now. This sold for $8.44. All right, next up is going to be a listing that Netta did, which is pretty cool. So we got these Lululemon. I think I said that right. It's just Lululemon. I never say it correctly. Honestly, I just don't know what it is. I'm not into like fashion stuff. I just wear like basic stuff. These are 3 little tote bags. We do pretty well selling like bags and empty boxes. These are reusable. These sold for $7.50. Nothing too crazy. We got them for free from someone who actually like picks up the actual like clothes or accessories or perfume, whatever they are. They give us the bags for free. They don't care about them, and they know we do eBay, which is pretty cool. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 50 Warhammer Imperial bits and pieces. You've been seeing us sell a bunch of this stuff so far. These ended up selling for $18.74, so kind of above what we have been selling for those. These have been so good. I've been like shocked and not shocked at them. It's just been really nice to have those sell. All right, next up is going to be a really big sale. We haven't had a big sale in a long time for an individual item. This is a train, a 2020 Staines Black Steam Locomotive G scale train. I don't know anything about trains. I know people love trains. They set up villages. They set up like tracks in their like man caves or basements. We've gone to estate sales where we go into a room and it's like a big room with like a big setup, and you can like, obviously they're like moving or whatever the reason estate sales happening, so they're selling all this stuff. This I think another guy at auction a long time ago, and then it was being stored at her parents' house, and her mom gave it to us like, oh, hey, do you want to deal with these now? I said yes. Still didn't deal with them for a long time. About a year later, I listed them a couple days ago. This sold for $100. So I was like, yeah, cool. I'm, stuff just laying around. I've been trying to, go through it. So $100 is pretty cool for that. That's awesome. That's huge. Like that's a big, that's a lot of money for us. It means a lot. All right. Next up is going to be Legend of the Five Rings, Clan Rivals, Crab versus Mantis right here. I sold a bunch of these to someone. I don't know if it's the same person. It doesn't say repeat buyer, but I remember they didn't like the condition of one of the ones I sent, and they said I had like a nicer one. I get these during auction. I got these also not during auction. This one I made a note. I did get this one from auction. I sold it. I paid $2 for it. Sold it for $10.79. So yeah, not like the best because it's kind of hard to ship because you have to like make a bigger box and it has to be like usually like a pound or two. I think like 2 pounds. They are good quality card binders and it's cool. Like this is pretty cool if you like Legend of the Five Rings. All right, next up is going to be an untested, another one of these trains. So I have to be like really careful. This thing is like super heavy. This is like a Santa Fe locomotive something. This thing actually has switches. So like right here on the top, I don't know if you can see me moving my thumb, like smoke can come out of it. Yeah, this is huge. So this sold for $115. We had one more other big train I listed, and then there's some other smaller trains I've been working on. There was also like little plastic buildings and little figures I listed. The buildings and figures weren't as much, but like this was all from like lots that I don't even know how much. Do you remember how much you spent or not really? Probably very little because she was doing really well with these particular online auctions like 3 or 4 years ago. All right, next up is going to be a lot of 32 medieval plastic toy soldier figures miniatures. These are probably like a gift for a kid. These are pretty cool. Like when I saw them, I'm like, oh, someone's going to appreciate them because they just have like good detail. They're still just like plastic toys, but like a kid will really enjoy these. They have like horses. They have like shields and swords. These sold for $14.75. I don't know like what brand or if they even had a brand, but I knew someone was going to look up medieval knights and get them, and they did. All right, next up is the same item earlier. My listing must have been a different price because sometimes I just list stuff at different prices. This one sold for $6.83. The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings strategy battle game. There must be something going on. I think when I last looked up this stuff a month or two ago, I think they're like either remaking the game or they're making new stuff. So maybe the stuff started landing in people's like mailboxes. Maybe like it was like a pre-order and like people just want the core rule book. I don't know if this is still usable. Probably is, honestly. So yeah, that's why people are probably picking these up because you'll see I sold more of that stuff, but in a moment. All right, the next thing is disc golf, T-Bird right here, fairway driver. I don't know where we got these. Probably at the thrift store. We got like a pack of 5. Yeah, I don't know like if it was Anetta who grabbed it or me. But I ended up listing them like a couple months ago. It's still like dirty and stuff. We have a bunch of places nearby us that do disc golf. Like there's actually some parks we like to walk around and people are just like playing this all the time around here. So yeah, there's like different numbers, which is like the width or the velocity. Like people really get into depth into this. This sold for $8.24. I think this is the second one of the group of 5 that we sold, so it's pretty good. That's probably why we found them around here, is because there's a lot of people that play it around here. All right, and then next up, it's the same thing, the Lord of the Rings strategy battle game rulebook. This is a hardcover, so like yeah, this is the same thing as this one. It looks like it does have more pages and stuff, so yeah, hardcover. This one sold for $22.50. Obviously, this one is better quality and looks nicer than this one. Well, I think both of the arts look good, but yeah, this one's sold for a lot more, so there you go. All right, next up is going to be a little like die-cast car that we got from people that flip storage units. This is a Chicago police like trailer. I don't know if they like, yeah, I don't know what they're going to put in there, like people or an ambulance or something like that. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know. Like maybe an animals. I can't see inside. So it's just a little trailer hitch that you attach to another car. This sold for $8. All right, and then the last thing for the day, Immaculata, I'm probably saying this wrong, December 1971 special beautification issue right here. I'm honestly no idea without being able to like open it up, and I already have this sealed up ready to ship. This is from a bit ago. Do you know what this is? I don't know, some kind of like religious like magazine or something. It looks like well done, like the art. It has like a nice feel, even though I have the plastic around. I can tell by the look of it, it's not gonna be like a junky like paper. This sold for $26.25. So yeah, that was probably from a long time ago because my memory of it is basically gone at this point, and it was in a box that I listed stuff in a long time ago. All right, so yeah, that's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope everyone has a good weekend, and we'll see if we have a crazy one coming up on Monday with Christmas around the corner. Have a good one.